Hello, this is Mr. Inadequate. This is Crusader Kings 3. In the background, you have my Pomerania play. Uh, this video is not going to be very much gameplay, if any, and it probably won't get saved as gameplay. Uh, Earlier today on Facebook, there's two Facebook pages I post these videos in, Crusader Kings and Let's Play Crusader Kings, and I asked the same question in each. Because I had done my episode 7, and after 20 hours or so, I'd only gotten 3 views, which I usually get 15 or 20 in 20 hours. So I was wondering if I had hit the saturation point, and maybe I should start another playthrough or anything, because I thought it was actually a fairly good video as far as what happened. We gained a lot of territory. We got Gdansk back. We got Mecklenburg, which is a duchy now. We ended a war with Denmark and Norway. And Prussia got destroyed. This was all Prussia. Now it's Poland. But I hadn't gotten any views, so I was wondering why. And so I asked a question. Because of that, I got 28 new subs today. And that brought me to 210 subs, which isn't a lot of subs for your major YouTubers. They have like 210,000 or more. But for me, a year into doing this and doing it for fun and showing content to people who want to look at the content and everything, which is fun for me. I thought that maybe I was doing something wrong. And then when I got all those subs today, I figured now that I hit 200, I would do a little bit of a celebratory video thanking all of you guys who have subbed to me in the past and who subbed to me today and who support the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm not a major guy. I'm just a little old guy who is playing the game, sharing what he plays, and I don't know a lot about all the ins and outs. I don't really know how to edit or anything like that, and I wouldn't edit anyway, because if I make a mistake, I'd rather you see me make a mistake so you can learn from it. We can both learn from it. So anyhow, one of the comments was that I should explain, do some better commentary, and I thought I would do some in this video as to how I play this game. Now, I'm not a master of this game. I had Crusader Kings 2 for like 2 or 3 years and played 112 hours. And I've got around 120 hours in Crusader Kings 3 since it launched on September 1st. So I'm by no means a master. However, I play a little differently than a lot of people. I'm not out to conquer the map. This isn't Europa Universalis 4. This is Crusader Kings, where it's basically a family play thing. You've got to role play your character. In my mind, you have to role play the characters, take care of your family, and to me, it's more important that Pomerania sticks around, or that my family stays landed somewhere else throughout the game. Now, somebody says I don't have a goal. I always have a goal playing Crusader Kings 2 and 3. Get my family to last 100 years. Anything beyond that's gravy. Now, down here, we have Jerusalem. My daughter rules that. So my family's got land elsewhere. And that's important to the way I play the game. You want to spread your family out if at all possible. Now, when I say role play, we'll look at my king here. King Sweetbore is deceitful, gluttonous, craven. He's an elusive shadow. He's a reaver. He's a seducer. He's a pilgrim because he went on a pilgrimage. He's a crusader because he took place in the Crusades for Jerusalem, and he took place in the Crusades for Pomerania, where they got back Gdansk. And To show you how crazy the AI is sometime, right before the crusade launched to get me back this county, Mecklenburg declared war on me. They're heathens. So they got beat and it became part of mine. So anyhow, Crusader, Schemer, and Eager Reveler. You got to keep that in mind as you're playing the game if you play it the way I do. Now, he started off a heathen, but you got Denmark, which is Catholic, Sweden, which is Catholic, Poland, which is Catholic, and the Holy Roman Empire, which is Catholic, surrounding Pomerania. I figured, and I did this early on, that the best way to play this playthrough was to turn Catholic, and I was able to do that. And it helped immensely. Now, as you can see, he has diplomacy of 7, so he's not very diplomatic. He's average marshal. He's barely average stewardship. He is an excellent at intrigue at 33. And his learning is average. I mean, he started off a heathen, so it isn't like he probably just now knows his letters and stuff. So I try to play him that way. Now, what we're going to do here is look at closer. We're going to go down here and look at his intrigue points. As you can see, he has the whole schemer and the whole seducer lines done, and he's well into torture. I'm just doing torture because the dude's, 68 or something like that. And I figured rather than try to reset him on something else, I would just continue the intrigue. He has kidnapped rulers. He has had murder plots against the King of Denmark, who died before we could get to him. And the war with Denmark was over this county here, Lubbock, which I took very early on. It was easy. It was hanging out there like a rotten fruit, so I took it, knowing that I would probably have problems with Denmark. I was able, because they concentrated on trying to take this county from me, I took this county, and was besieging this county on them. I had a pretty good war score, and I was able to get a white peace. I wasn't interested in prolonging a war with Denmark, especially knowing at that time as I did that the Crusade was coming up and I needed to be involved in that. Now, my heir, who is gluttonous, impatient, callous, but an adequate bargainer, and he's delicate, which could be a problem. And that's congenital. He can pass it on. His best score really is diplomacy, and that is probably, I don't care what they start him off at. Intrigue, maybe, I don't know. Whatever. When my current ruler dies, I am probably going to put points into diplomacy for him, especially family. I like using the family tree in diplomacy for a number of reasons. Let's see if I can get there. No, learning diplomacy. Here we go. Family hierarchy. Befriend is always a good thing to get. Groom to rule. Your children get 1 to 3 extra skill points. Having friends reduces stress. You add 15 to your family opinion. Befriend scheme power goes up by plus 30%. Personal scheme success chance against family members goes up 25%. Friendly counsel, each of your friend relations gives you 2 random skill points. And then sound foundation, each living child gets another random skill point. And patriarch, just as a trait. So I do like that. I also like the diplomat, thoughtful, ducal conquest, adaptive traditions, defense, which you can propose one alliance without a marriage. embassies and alliance grants, diplomacy, flexible truces, shorter truces and no prestige penalty for breaking them, forced vacillation, casus belli, and accomplished forger for fabricate claim. And then this one's good too. Sway scheme power goes up. Prestige per dread. Monthly prestige per powerful vassal on the council. Praetorian Guard. Prestige per night. Plus 25 if you offer somebody vassalization. You can commission an epic. There's that decision for you. Level of fame impact plus 100%. And diplomacy per level of fame plus 1. So that's one of the reasons why I like diplomacy, and probably my era is going to go that way. Because that's the way I play. There's different ways to play depending on the character you get. But you can adapt your characters to the situation at hand. I think that Pomerania needs to be very diplomatic with the Holy Roman Empire, Poland, Lithuania is creeping in, Estonia is very big, you got Denmark, you got Sweden, you got Norway. There's some big mice, or big elephants around, and you're not really a tiny mouse, but we are a kingdom, but you are not as powerful as them. Now, what else? Okay, go down here. Right now, I decided after we got Arch Saddle, I think it was, I always try to get hereditary rule as quickly as possible. We are Catholic, and that's our house. There is a cadet house just got formed, too. We are considered insignificant. Our dynasty tree includes one queen. My daughter is princess. And, I've got grandchildren and everything. It's important. Now, looking at issues. I don't, look, I can declare war on Poland. Why would I want to? I'm not somebody who's going to take on somebody. My gameplay does not extend to taking on Poland, Denmark, the Holy Roman Empire. I'm not sure where they are. But you know what? I usually just come in and get rid of all these for a simple reason. I can find who I want to declare war on. I could probably declare war on Prussia, but they're embedded pretty much in Poland, and why would I want to? Okay, my heir is fifth in line for Jerusalem, second in line for the Duchy of Palestine, and second in line for the County of Jerusalem. I'm fourth in line for Jerusalem and second for all these things. And then I usually look, okay, modified contract. Who's this? No, I'm not going to. What I would usually do, what's he think of me? He's 14, he's my grandson. I would probably do this. Allow him to build fortifications, so he builds them and I don't have to. Okay, now I can change him. He's my grandson, he likes me a little bit. What is he? Yeah, I would do the same thing for him. One of the kind of things that I'm more likely to do. Okay. Now, this guy, Count Strats of Kotabzerg, Zeg, whatever it is. I can't pronounce these words. It's good to have powerful vassals on your council, in my opinion. But diplomacy at 10. I already got a powerful vassal there that's 16. Marshal, 4. I don't have a pretty good marshal, but he is a powerful guy, and he's better at marshaling. Stewart, I believe he's a powerful vessel, is he not? Yes. And he's a 7, which is, it's kind of like a trade-off. I would have to look at him to see if he's better than anything else. And 8, for Spymaster, no. She's powerful and she's better. And then learning I can't do anything about. I can't, my Archbishop isn't under my control. So I've got to tell this. Let's see who's that? Count Straz. So let's see what Count Nicholas has. Are you better than you are better at martial. Huh. So what we can do here, we're going to end up with a pissed off vassal. What we can do here, so that's Nicholas. We can fire this guy. And we can swap. So Duke Patrick is better at chancelling than the other guy that we wanted here. Yeah, Strauss. He just, I got to tell him, I'm sorry, guy. You don't meet the requirements. And that's the kind of decisions I make while I'm playing this game. What's best befitting the country, the family first, then the country. Now, as you can see, I have a spouse, but she doesn't show up on my council because she is queen, and I believe she has a title, County of Babruysk, that she got for some reason. So she has a title in Poland. Or not in Poland. Well, in here, over here. So what is this part of? It is part of Poland. Sometimes the colors on the map throw me off. So she's part of Poland, kind of a semi-independent, I guess, from the color change. So I can't use her on my council. I could divorce her, but I don't think I want to. Okay. Now what else can I talk about? I also try to keep an idea of what's going on elsewhere. For example, Munster's doing fairly well. The Normans conquered England, and that's like the 3rd king of England. And Spain's a mess as usual. And I just keep an eye on the Byzantine Empire. And this is the year 1109, and where I am in the game. And, I just keep an eye because it is important to know what's going on. Like Estonia. I didn't know I had a county up there. See, sometimes you got to keep an eye out for things. So, how I got my marshal has land way up there north of Sweden and Norway. That's all, that's good. He is not part of my family, but it is part of my kingdom. Very interesting. Never know what you're going to find out sometimes. That must have happened because of the Crusade. Is this mine too? No. Okay. But that is somebody to keep an eye on. Since I have land up here, I could easily take that. Though I have to be careful, because he's up now. See, he's allied to Estonia. We don't want to start a war with Estonia would kick in. Okay. So anyhow, that's pretty much how I do things. I try to keep an eye on the map. I keep an eye on my family and my kingdom. I try to expand, but it isn't my most important concern. Getting along with my neighbors, unless there's somebody that is very easy picking. And you got to watch out. Like for example, let's look at Prussia right now. He has a truce with me. He has 3 titles. He has 2 claims. One on my county of Gdansk, which the Crusader just took from him. And one on, I believe that's... I'm not sure where. I'm looking for the county. And the other thing is, I realize I don't have the same YouTube talking style that a lot of people do. First of all, it was very hard for me to learn to talk while I was playing a game. But, maybe it's part of the fact that I'm older. I'm a veteran, not a veterinarian. And I've seen a lot of things, so I try to keep things calm, as informative as I possibly can while still being able to play the game effectively. And, I'm always checking in on, that, who do you see now? This is a hanging for Memel. They're not allied to anybody. They don't have many troops. Same with Samogita. But Samogita is at war, and they're Poland and Toulouse. So no, we wouldn't want to mess with them. But Memel, I'll have to remember Memel. I can get there by sea. So anyhow, that I just wanted to talk to say thank you very much for all the subs, especially the 28 subs I got today. When you only have 182 and you get 28 subs in one day, that is a cause for celebration. And I appreciate bringing the content to you, that some people seem to like it. A note, I'm not sure what today's date is, but on December 1st, so a week to 10 days, Empire of Sin is going to launch. So I've already pre-ordered that. I'm going to play that on my channel also for those of you interested, and I will be posting it in the Empire of Sin Facebook page. I've already asked and they said yes. So I'll be doing Crusader Kings 3 one day, Empire of Sin the next. It'll be every other day. That should keep me pretty busy. And I don't know, I guess you can leave comments, questions, whatever. It's just, the way I look at this game is it's just important to role play each character, each ruler, as you get them. And like in my El Cid gameplay, El Cid was an honorable man, and he did pretty good. And then his son was very heavy on intrigue, and he was even nastier than this guy is on the surface. And he just ran. He was a vassal. He had land taken away from him by his liege. At the very end, he had a murder plot going against his liege, and his liege had him killed. And, it can be difficult going from one to the other. It can screw up your family. A bad character, somebody who's very heavy in intrigue but is shy. Every time they try to do something, they get stressed. Stress can kill you. It can really mess things up. it's a delicate way to play the game. If you're not being, Julius Caesar or Alexander or any of those and trying to conquer the world, if you're just trying to play it, role play from generation to generation, helping your family through your talents that you're given, as a character, it can be very delicate. You have to have an idea of where you want to go before you get to the next generation. Uh, if I thought my heir was, and this is something I learned from the El Cid play, if I thought my heir was going to be a real dickhead, I'd probably have him killed, stripped of title, whatever, for the sake of the family. Because to me, Crusader Kings franchise, not just 3, is really, in my opinion, centered on the family first, the country second. And, as you can see, in 7 episodes of about 30 to 40 minutes each, I've taken Pomerania from a heathen duchy to a Christian Catholic kingdom. I lost and gained Gdansk. I gained Lubeck and all of Mecklenburg. Actually, these 2 provinces should be in Mecklenburg, but who's going to fight Denmark and Poland over them? And, that's my focus. I try to play this as keeping the family landed. If you conquer the whole world, yeah, your family's going to be landed. But, that's the way I choose to approach the game. I don't play it real fast. Quite frankly, if I put it on the fastest speed, I'd never be able to keep track of it. I'm sorry, I'm old. And I'm trying to make it a story, basically, of the family. It may not always seem that way because I may not always articulate it properly, but that is what I'm trying to do. And sometimes the family members fight against you. And, thank you very much to everybody who subbed in the past, who subbed today, who will sub in the future. If you want, I don't usually say this on my videos. If you give me a like, that's a form of feedback. It lets me know that you liked it. If you give me a dislike, that's cool too. It's good to know. I would appreciate it if you're willing to write in the comments what you disliked. Because if I don't know what people dislike, I can't adapt to it. I can't try to correct it so that you like it. And if you want to see more comments, sub and hit, click that little bell so you get to see when my videos come up. Thank you very much for your support. I hope this helped as far as letting you know how I play the game, what I try to accomplish playing this game, and why I do the things I do. Thank you very much. This is Mr. Inadequate playing Crusader Kings 3. This is not a saved episode. I didn't do anything. Tomorrow I'll probably try, if I get a chance, I'm going to help somebody else learn another game tomorrow, but if I get a chance, I'll try to do episode 8 tomorrow. But anyhow, I hope that this has helped you understand what I am trying to do and maybe you'll understand why I do things the way I do better. Thank you very much for your support.